Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. All right, we've already got somebody here. We've had a busy week. And I've got things to talk about, but maybe we'll bring in Judy first. And I think what's going on today, which is cool, is I think my chat is actually working this time. Thank you, LB. Which is great, because for the last few weeks I couldn't get my chat to work. And let me just see, and I think it is. So I think I'm all set up. You guys are here, I'm here. Let's bring in Judy. And so, let's see. Oh, we don't want that. All right, wrong mouse. I have two mouses here. I'm on two screens, and I'm trying to get this all sorted out. Judy, do you hear me?
I do hear you.
All right. Well, we're almost ready. We're ready for you. We're just waiting for your camera to get started.
Hmm.
And I clicked the button that said
start my video.
There you go.
Ta-da!
All right, you made it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. And where are you streaming from?
I am streaming from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Wow, nice. Very nice.
Very hot.
I'm in South Texas, and it was hot today. It was very hot.
And we've only just begun.
Yes.
We've only just begun.
It's crazy. And it's the hot season where we stay indoors. Where there's air conditioning.
For sure. I'm going to make this bigger. I facilitate small Zoom meetings.
All right.
And so, but I only know what I know to do that. So I thought, I've been watching you. I've been watching these live streams on YouTube.
Cool. Thank you.
But a lot of times, I guess if you restart or something, then it's still showing the old screen, and there's quite a bit of confusion. So
yeah, you are right. And there's a little things that you have to kind of pay attention to, or it starts at wonky, and then you've got to, and I'm guilty of restarting this stream many times over and over.
Right. So I'm never quite sure. Now, are you guys on the same time as us?
No, I'm Central Time.
Okay, so 1 hour's difference?
Yep.
That's why, because see, mine said 6:55, and it was already, for me, it was like 7:46 or something like that. And I was checking on the, on my tablet to see if, because last time the only way I found out is somebody in the comments in the chat, public chat, they told me, they said, oh, he's not on the screen, he restarted, and then I went back through, and anyway.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm guilty doing. So what do you have to share with us tonight that's paranormal, supernatural?
I'm a practicing, if that even makes sense, a practicing mystic.
Okay.
So
and you've been doing this for a long time? Well,
I started out way back in the late 90s. I pitched down a flight of stairs, and I smacked my head. I flew at the height of the railing, and I smacked my forebrain against the textured concrete wall.
Ouch.
And yes, and because it was where I worked at the time, I was married to somebody who had, a lot of mental illness from the war. So I really didn't get any kind of treatment or rehab or anything. So finally in 2007, they diagnosed me with dementia due to head trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the interesting things that came from that was it kind of unfolded that I ended up in a large Course in Miracles meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with that, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
And I found that I call it flow. A lot of people would say channel, that I could channel verbatim quotes from A Course in Miracles, even though I'd never read it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, and at first I wasn't conscious of it, but, and I'm from a Baptist background, so it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, but people would come up to me after the meeting and they'd say, "Oh, that helped me so much. That was so beautiful." And they'd want to talk to me about what I said.
And well, if you're at a Baptist meeting, they may have thought that you were speaking in tongues.
I don't know. No, I was definitely talking English. It's just I wasn't conscious of it. So I basically had a come to Jesus meeting with Jesus. And I said, "Look, our Holy Spirit, I do believe that everybody has the Holy Spirit within them, whatever you want to call it, God within them." And I said, "Look, if you want me to help these people, you better make me conscious of what I'm saying." Because I'd kind of go somewhere, kind of go like a trance
You're
channel.
a trance channel, yeah.
Right. Well, not anymore, because shortly after that, I was able to be there to hear what was coming out of my mouth.
Now, who are you channeling?
I just say Holy Spirit or Jesus. Jesus supposedly was the author of A Course in Miracles, was scribed by Helen Schuckman. So anyway, it was really, really helpful to a lot of people, because I just seem to know when I'm in that flow, I seem to know about it.
Right.
So, but if I'm not in that flow, don't ask me about A Course in Miracles, because I couldn't tell you. So anyway, for years and years and years, I was facilitating groups. And in town here, I'm known as the reference because of this gift I was given. And that completely took me away from religious, Baptist leanings, and led me to being able to help people through A Course in Miracles. And eventually I was led to an Infinite Way group, which is mysticism. And that's where I find myself now. So meditation is real big and stuff.
Now, what are some of the most profound things while you were conscious that you heard yourself channel? Things that blew you away, that were life-changing for you?
From A Course in Miracles?
No, while you were channeling.
Oh, well, see, I never really, to tell you the truth, I never really used it except for it was my daily practice. So if somebody came to me that needed help or counseling or whatever, I would just go within and I would say, okay. But generally it was just the profound truths from A Course in Miracles. And now when I go to my mystical meetings, it's the same thing. Stuff just comes out of my mouth. And it's really profound because, but it's not unusual for people who understand mystical or spiritual paths, because it's just basically that there's no judgment. We only judge ourselves, and that no matter what it looks like, it's always love.
Now, do you have to prepare to channel, or can you just go right into it?
I've always, since I hit my head, I just have this gift.
Do you want to channel for us now?
No. No, maybe I'll come back on some other time, because this is the first time I've been able to be a part of the meeting. I've been watching you on YouTube, and I really just wanted to express to you how grateful I am for your channel and what you do.
Thank you.
You are just an amazing host. And I just really, I kind of have a thing right now for NDEs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been interested from the time I was little. I believe that I'm one of those children who did have encounters.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I still get a feeling and I look up and I'll see a UFO over me and stuff like
Wow.
that.
See, there's so many people that, well, you didn't have an NDE, but there's, in my opinion, an NDE UFO connection, and
Yeah,
so many.
there's no telling, because I hit that wall hard enough, and everything went into slow motion.
You may have had an NDE and don't remember it.
I may have. I remember feeling it was an enclosed stairwell, very heavy metal door, totally enclosed. And I remember after I hit the wall and then my shoulders hit and I slammed down on the floor. I clearly remember it felt like strong arms lifted me up, because I was bleeding profusely from my
Maybe
head.
it was an angel.
Well, I always said it must have been an angel, just lifted me up and literally pushed me out of the heavy metal door. And then I flew across the hallway and I slammed the other side of the corridor. But they told me that I probably would have died, because the vestibule was filling up so quickly with blood,
Well,
so I may have had an NDE.
yeah.
I don't know.
I have a powerful NDE for everybody tomorrow night. This guy, before even having his NDE, was already somebody who was traveling to India as an American guy and studying the Vedas and giving us a real kind of interesting Hindu and Buddhist point of view.
Nice.
Because he's already really, like I said, heavily involved in the study before he had his NDE. And then he was on a motorcycle and got ran down just totally, and he died, ran over by an SUV.
Yeah.
But he has so much spiritual knowledge that he can relate to prior to this NDE, that he can explain it in such a fascinating way that I think you guys are really going to like it. And I think it's one of those must-watch NDEs.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't miss any of your videos. Never. Yeah, it might take me a little while to get to them, but I don't miss any of them. I find all of them so fascinating. And I love hearing people's perspectives of this great spiritual journey that we're on. So, but I so appreciate you and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
And that's really what I says. Well, I'll just see. I'll get into the into the flow here. But that sounds really interesting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
well, listen, I need to run. I've got a couple people waiting on me, but it was a pleasure meeting you, Judy. We look forward to you coming back and channeling live for us, because we have this beautiful audience here that they can ask the questions and we can get you to channel us the answers. I think that would be fun.
That's true. Now, can you just take me out, or is there something I need to do?
I don't like to use that word, take you out.
Take me out. I want an NDE.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you soon, I hope.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. And let's give her a big round of applause. And hopefully we'll get her back to channel for us. Before I bring in the next guest, I just want to let you guys know, if you're new here, if you want to join me, you go to Zoom and click join a meeting. And then if you look down in the description below, you have the Zoom ID and the password, so that can get you in, and then you just get in line like you see right here. See, David something is next, and then there's Merlin, and then after that will be you. So we're happy to have you. We hope you come and join us and share with us. Besides that, in the description below is links to my personal Facebook profile. I'm still accepting friends until I run out of 5,000, and you will find out that my last name is Reynolds. My beloved wife is Mara, and the channel's named after both of us, JeffMara Podcast. There's the JeffMara Facebook page. There's a link to our indie eclipse. There's a link to our music channel. I finally posted one meditative type music in there and some other stuff. I'm slowly kind of working on that. There's a link to Discord in there. Discord is free. It's kind of like Facebook, but different. They're chat rooms, and you go to Discord, you get your free profile, and then you use my link to join my room. And there's several rooms there. And there's at least 500 people there that you can hang out with. So if you want to hang out with like-minded people, it's there for you. All right, so let's kind of move on to David something. See what David's up to. All right, David, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just can't see you yet. Let me help you. And I click to
Okay.
start video, which there you are.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Um,
Have you been
thank
on before? You look familiar.
No,
You
no,
have not. You just have one of those familiar faces, I guess.
yes, but I'm a recent longtime fan. I
Awesome. Where are you
Yes,
zooming from? Where are you coming in from?
Texas,
What part?
Houston.
Okay, I'm down the road in San Antonio.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
We're having a hot day, probably like you.
Yeah, I opened up my car and it said like 104 degrees on the
Mm-hmm.
thermometer.
Yeah.
Thank God for the AC.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday I was out at the grocery store, and it gives me the outside temperature, in the parking lot it was 108
Oh,
at
yes.
HEB. You know
Yes,
HEB.
yes, I love HEB. It's one of
Hmm.
my, it
Hmm.
may just makes you feel good when you go in there, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
All the people.
So what kind of experience do you want to share with us?
I would say this is a recent discovery
All right.
within the past 2 or 3, maybe 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of those people, kind of like how your work, we all experience things in a spiritual way. And sometimes when you learn something, you feel like you need to share it with other people because that's how
Yeah.
we all enlighten each other. So I've had cluster headaches my entire life,
Wow. Yeah, it's
and
terrible.
they come and go. And going back to the earliest ones that I remember when I was like 5 or 6 years old, maybe not that old, but I know I was in elementary. I can correlate it to the memory of Beetlejuice, the movie coming out on TV,
Mm-hmm.
because my brothers were watching it, and this headache just came in so strong. And I was on the side of the couch while they were watching in the front, just crying because the headache was so intense.
Mm-hmm.
So they would come and go since I was a little child. And they would be so intense, like you really can't think of anything else other than pain.
Mm.
But I say all that to say also be careful what you think of, because you do inadvertently manifest or draw what you think about.
Yeah.
So I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago, I thought to myself, what's good? I haven't had a cluster headache in a long time.
Yeah.
Because I had found some old aspirin. And
Mhm.
the aspirin, I was throwing out expired stuff. It was like from 2 or 3 years ago. And I like, okay, I remember I bought this the last time I had cluster headaches, which was like 2 or 3 years ago. So then I said, oh, okay, I haven't had one in a long time because obviously I had an unused bottle of aspirin.
Mhm.
So when they would come in, they would be so bad. And I know it's dangerous, not for anyone to follow, but just me personally, I would have to take like 4 or 5 Advils at one time, which is not supposed to do. But
Oh,
that's how bad they weren't. And then I
yeah.
had to take them like every 4 hours. So anyway, fast forward, me thinking about it, I guess hopefully I did, but consequently I ended up starting to have the headaches again. It was like a month or so ago. And they would just be so intense and so terrible. And it's one of those things where like when you're having them, you really can't think of anything else. And so in combination of me getting these headaches, there was some other traumatic issues that were going on in my life at that time, not related to me, and some of it kind of related to me. But
Mhm.
so of course, I've always been a spiritual person and believe in higher powers and positivity and all that. And so I said, you know what? And prior to that, I have told and this one of those lifelong lessons, like when what are we here to learn from, or what lesson we're here to grow. One of my personal lessons that I identified is, the fear and worry. So whenever traumatic things would happen to me, I would get so consumed in the fear, but eventually I would come through it and I'm like, well, David, I don't know why you were so traumatized or scared, because you always know that things end up working out in your favor,
Hmm.
whether you call it God, guardian angels, or spirit guides, it always end up being okay. So why do you let yourself get lost in fear when things happen? You need a quote unquote trust in the higher power.
Right.
So I say all that to say, like, okay, I would always tell myself, you know what, next time something scary happens, I'm gonna trust in the higher power. So that next time came, which again was the cluster headaches. And so I thought to myself, like, well, David, you always go through these things with things in the moment seem scary and you get overwhelmed with fear. And I said, you're gonna be okay. You always end up coming past these things. So I said, well, you know what? I know that personally, and I've experienced me coming through negative things. So I said, there's somebody out there that's experiencing maybe not the same kind of pain that I'm going through, but some type of pain, whether they're children or whether somebody's sick or some type of trauma. So for those people that are going through some type of pain and they don't yet know that they're going to come through and they're going to be okay, let me, instead of in this moment of pain, thinking about myself, let me take this moment to realize somebody else is going through a similar pain. And so instead of praying for myself, I started praying for these other people
Hmm.
that I didn't know, and then also, close friends and family that are going through their own things. So I was just praying and praying. I was like, God, be with these people. If they're feeling this kind of pain, let them know that they're going to be okay. And so I kept doing that, kept doing that. And eventually the cluster headache that I had, and I didn't, at this point, I stopped taking the Advil and stuff because I'd been having cluster headaches for like 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And taking 4 or 5 Advils, against the prescription of the bottle recommendations. I stopped taking them, kind of like, well, I know it's dangerous to keep taking this amount of pills, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it because I don't want to mess up my liver or whatever. So I stopped taking the pills. And while I was praying, the pain just slowly started subsiding and going away. And
That's
so maybe,
amazing.
yes, and normally they would like stay for hours, like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So it started going away, and I'm like, wow. I said, so was my prayer for other people, did it make it go away? And so, kind of like other people mentioned, when you experience something, sometimes you like, nah, it's just my imagination,
Hmm.
it probably, blah, blah, wishful thinking. So anyway, I was praying for the people and eventually the headache went away, but I noticed the correlation. So I'm like, wow, isn't that something? So then the next day, the same thing happened again. I started getting another cluster headache. And instead of, me taking pills, because I didn't want to keep damaging my liver or whatever, or chance it, I was like, you know what, let me just pray for the people. And again, the same thing happened. Like it didn't go away right away, but as I kept praying, it started subsiding slowly and surely. And so I'm like, wow. And then so I'm like, I know this can't be a coincidence.
Hmm.
And I'm always one of those people. I take information that I learn here and there, and I always piece it together, which I think is like the higher powers. So then I started correlating that with the concept of the philosopher's stone, which of course you probably know what that means, the concept of it. You transmute one thing that's worthless into something that's, you know, a rock into gold. And so I like, you know what? Maybe this is that concept that they're talking about. And I know a lot of it is quote unquote metaphors. So, and then I also correlated to Jesus when Jesus died on the cross. And I said, when Jesus was dying and suffering through so much pain and being persecuted, instead of him thinking of himself, he thought of other people.
Hmm.
And so I like, you know what? I wonder if that's what that concept is. Like what I just did is related to those concepts. And then the other thing I was thinking about, because I always think about the different things I learned in life is like energy, your thoughts and your intentions make a difference. So you can either use your thoughts and intentions for positivity, or you can use your thoughts and intentions for negativity. Which, if you look to the dark side, that's why people always quote unquote saying, oh, the Illuminati is using this traumatic situation to harness negative energy, which I do believe is the opposite correlation. So I said, you know what? I think that's the same concept. So in me going through a trauma, instead of feeding into it, I transmuted it into compassion and love for other people. And then two sidebars, my mom, she was going through some type of pain. And then the next day when I visited her after that situation, she was like, you know what, David, my pain started going away. And she was one of the people that I started praying for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a co-worker, she was going through her own issues, and we had talked about things the day before. In fact, I was telling her that story because it had just happened the night before. And then the next day she was like, you know what? I started doing the same thing that you told me. And instead of me thinking of my own pain, I was praying for other people. And she said, I feel a lot better today. So I wanted to share that story. I've been sharing that story with other people. And so I said, you know what? When we go through pain, of course, we don't want to go through it. But if you have that knowledge of knowing in the past that you've always come through it, instead of thinking about yourself, because you have that knowledge that you'll come through it, maybe think of other people who don't have that understanding and pray for those people, whether they be people you know or don't know. And I think that's when we can transmute negativity into positivity. So I wanted to share that because I thought that was an important revelation for me personally. So
Well, thank you for sharing that, David. I think it's amazing, and I hopefully, I also suffer from headaches from time to time. I hope I don't have another one, but if I do, then I'll try to remember that and try it for myself. But it makes sense, and I think it's fascinating. It's really, really interesting.
yes, because if you think about the concept in Jesus suffering,
Mm-hmm.
he was thinking of other salvations and he was able to pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think in our moment of suffering, instead of us getting lost and thinking of it of ourselves, because suffering can be overwhelming, if you use that moment as a moment of compassion for others, you can transmute that suffering maybe into sending healing energies to other people.
Yeah,
And so that
that may have been something that was right there in front of our eyes, but we never really understood it.
Yeah, and that's why it was important for me to tell, because I told my mom, I told my brothers, I told my coworker. I said, it sounds simple,
Mm-hmm.
but prior to this, I had never done that before. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's one of those things where, it's simple until somebody explains the mechanics of it, or you correlate it into something that you can kind of quote unquote replicate. But yeah, hopefully you won't go through any pain, but
Mm-hmm.
again, but if you do, try to think of like, okay, you know what, in this moment of my own personal suffering, let me have compassion and use this moment to think of others and wish them well in whatever suffering they're going through.
Yes. David, thank you for sharing that. I've got to run. I've got 3 people in line,
Thank you
but
for your
I
work.
appreciate it and have a great rest of your evening, bud.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye. And a big round of applause here for David. Oh, my better half here told me that someone said their husband died. For whoever that was, I offer my sincere condolences to you. Maybe the chat will know. And let's bring in Merlin. Let's see what
I'm
Merlin's
still
up to.
here.
Merlin,
Can you see me?
not yet. Are you in your car today?
No. I'm in a hotel. Oh, my hair looks a little nuts.
Oh, it looks all
I'm
right.
in. Yeah, it's cool.
Are you
cool.
in
I
London?
look like I just got out of the shower. No, not in London, but my fiance's here though with me
Oh,
with my
really?
daughter.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Your fiance and your daughter?
No. I don't have any kids. Doggo.
With your dog?
Yeah, call them doggo in other countries, I believe, right?
Oh, your doggo. All right.
Doggo.
Well,
Yeah.
cool. So she came to, are you in Alabama?
I am.
She came to
She
visit
came
you.
here.
Awesome.
That's right. Yeah.
That's amazing. How fun.
Yeah, no, she's staying longer, than last time for a week. But she's been here. She'll stay for about a couple of weeks. Well, a week now. She's already been here for over 7 days. Sorry, hold on. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Hey, and he's growling. But yeah, I already got the cards ready to go.
Oh, you're back in the game, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right. So Merlin's back in the game to do some tarot for us.
Yeah.
For those of you that are new, what Merlin does is he draws 3 piles, and you have to pick 1, 2, or 3. And this will be your reading for the evening. How long will this reading, I thought the last time you said it was kind of like a monthly reading. Are you doing a monthly one, or what's going on?
Oh, geez. What month are we even in? I can't even recall. Oh, June. What's today? Saturday, right?
17th.
The 17th. Oh, 8 energy. Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just make it just, starting that. Let's make it for next week as well. The whole rest of the week, Monday through Friday for next week.
Perfect.
How about that? That's a good one.
All right.
And I already got them out. I've already picked them out.
Oh, you've already picked the cards already. Oh, wow.
They're ready to go.
All right.
Just have to pick
and
1, 2, or 3.
and people are already starting to put their numbers in the chat, so we're ready to rock.
Ready to rock. Okay. Well, pile 1 is Golden Christed Dragon. It says brings you higher love, so that you embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain 5th dimensional.
Now, can I see that? Oh, there it is. This is interesting. Golden Christed. Is this some kind of Christian related tarot?
Oh no, not necessarily. No. It doesn't. And a lot of people will argue that Christ is a name that was given to him, after the crucifixion, and he took on that supposedly. A lot of people argue that it's a name added to him. But Christ. You talk about Christ consciousness as well, and people like to talk about that as well. Christ consciousness, Merlin consciousness, whatever that you want to tune into, whatever. But that's how I see it. But it's not necessarily a Christian a deck, so to say. But they a lot of people use Christ consciousness in tarot and stuff like that as well, and oracle decks. This is actually a dragon oracle deck. So it's not Christian, really. It's not tailored just for Christians. It's more like for everybody.
Now, what did that card mean again?
It says it brings you higher love, so that you embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain in the 5th dimensional.
Do you have a confirmation card with that?
No. This is an oracle deck. So this is like for whatever people need to know to carry on from Monday to Friday, for them. So that's pile 1, people.
All
right. Ready for pile 2?
Yep.
All righty. Okay. Golden Solar Dragon.
Cool.
Helps you. I didn't even look at these for real. I just drew 1, 2, 3. You know how I do. Did my shuffle, what pops out. Golden Solar Dragon. It helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. And you can see the card. It's a pretty card. It's pretty decked. And for the pile 3 people, you got the Blue Dragon from the Pleiades. It says prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, and give and receive heart healing. So a lot of people that have broken hearts is what I'm getting from that. Yeah, I mean, it's in the wording. So if you have a broken heart, this is a good time to mend that for people that drew pile 3 as well.
That's great. These are all positive cards.
Yeah, exactly. But there are some. Now, I think you asked me that question because I think I had like the divine feminine one, and some decks you can buy. Like I have a Cthulhu deck as well.
A what?
It's not Cthulhu.
Oh,
No, it's old whispers, but it's like a Cthulhu. HP Lovecraft deck. So it's not very positive, you know. So there are decks out there that are not necessarily positive, but I like the positive ones, you know. I think I need some positivity, as you know. I'm just like everybody else. I get negative too sometimes. You know, you can't be looking at Cthulhu all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, this is nice. So I kind of like that.
Merlin, have you seen the movie Close Encounters 5 by Stephen Greer?
Oh man, I bought one of his videos.
I know you're into UFOs.
Yeah, no, I think I bought Sirius, the one he did on Sirius. I think I bought that on YouTube.
If you're on Amazon Prime, it's free, and I watched it a couple nights ago. The Close Encounters 5, and it was really good, and it was a kind of almost about what we talk about here, about the UFOs, and Dr. Greer's also had an NDE, and and we're talking.
I know all about him. I know all about Dr. Greer. He was a trauma surgeon. You know, I think it was a trauma surgeon is what he said. Then he devoted all his effort and resources into disclosure. And you know, it's good. It's good that people are coming out. I think I've seen a lot of skeptical people that are no nonsense, like don't believe in any of that, starting to come around because that previous guy came around. He's high up ranking. The previous guy, I forgot his name. But he was like the head of these, you know, reconnaissance secrets programs and stuff. The head, and he has credibility within the whole entire branches of government. And everyone, even the skeptics, are starting to believe now because of that one guy. So I think that's a good sign. But what we have to understand is it's good to be neutral even now until they start showing us craft. And you know, another reason why they're not doing so is because, you know, it's not necessary. You got to really think who's in control of the military. Is it really just the generals? Who's in control of our elected leaders in this country? Is it really the people? Or is it lobbyists that pay for both sides of the aisle? You got to think like that. So so those are the people, the rich and powerful are the ones that really have all this power. And you know, not all of them. There's some rich people that have no clue. And they're like, wow, this is real. But, you know, there are certain individuals that, you know, control information and flow, and it's just a dog and pony show basically. The Democratic and Republican, you know, that's just a dog and pony show. These people really don't have truly all the power, and they have a lot of power, but not all of it, and definitely not enough to unleash classified information about UFOs. And so you get these brave people, these whistleblowers. You get like people like Dr. Greer that try to risk their lives to put this information out for disclosure. And I think that's great. That's brave. I mean, can you imagine like all the stuff they go through? Because even the progressives that are elected in this country, I mean, you never know. They might get like a email like, you know, I hope you wear your seatbelt today. I would hate to have a car wreck be careful, that type of thing. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Cause that's scary. It's a scary world.
Right.
So,
what was fascinating in that movie was someone appeared to be possibly threatening Dr. Greer, and he said, I've already been dead and I know you don't die and I'm not afraid of you.
Exactly.
Well, afraid.
Yes, he would be more powerful on the other side than he is now. It's kind of like like a Ben Kenobi. You may strike me down, Vader, but I shall bring more game. It's like that.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what that is.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, it's true. A lot of truth to it.
Now, are you still doing readings and on YouTube, and you still got your Facebook page going?
Well, I got another YouTube video I put out recently. Now I started that back again. The only one I deleted a bunch of them, but I kept the one I called the voices that came through for sure. And people can, you know, watch that if they want to. It's got like 129 views so far. And it's just my name's just Merlin now. I have to get the exact link again, get that all started for sure, like really like going full force. But I will plan on start doing readings again in the future, and I'll let you know, and I'll text you or whatever. I'll come on again next week if I'm doing them then, and then I'll let you know. But I've just been kind of busy hanging out with the fiance while she's here.
Go. Yeah, you should.
So,
that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been posting memes, so not my own. Usually I find memes, I take the time, I look for memes to post on the page. I've been posting other people's pages and stuff instead. It's a lot easier, quicker. less time consuming and stuff. So,
Have you guys set a date yet
a date?
to get married?
Oh,
You
to get
said your
married.
fiance.
Well, what do you say to that? He's asking how we set a date to get married. She says next. Did you hear her?
Vaguely. What did she say? Next year?
Yeah. Can you say louder? It's like yeah.
Okay, next year. All right. Hey,
Yeah. She's over there in bed under the covers watching a movie.
cool.
Yeah. So we're getting in the right direction. We're going the right direction.
All right.
So.
Well, Merlin, I got to run. I got
Yes,
3
sir.
people waiting on us or so. But thanks for popping in. Good seeing you, Glid, and
You too. You
I'm
too, my
glad
brother.
you're back.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Okay.
take care. Cheers.
Thank you. You too.
Mhm.
Cheers.
All right, give me 1 second. And Goddess. This is from Ageless Wisdom Speaks. Greetings, and whatever happened to the interview about the divine feminine and goddess? I'm not sure which interview you're speaking of, Ageless Wisdom. Yeah, I really don't know which one you're talking about. If you could tell me the guest, it might help me.
Somebody
And something about someone.
life you one of your lives so they finish
What do you mean by that?
you're one of the those you put
Mhm.
the old
Oh,
she was
I think my wife is telling me that what we can do is I know that I can like I think when you release a video, there's some kind of thing where you can actually watch it live or something, or I can be live while watching it. I've actually never done that, but somebody had mentioned that, and I'll try to look into that for tomorrow night, because again, I think tomorrow night's going to be a must-watch NDE. If you're into NDEs, tomorrow night's a must-watch one, because I think you're really going to enjoy it immensely. No. So, and yeah, so I definite that. And what's fascinating for me is because I look at the stats and the numbers, and surprisingly to me, lately, what's been getting a lot of views, basically more than NDEs, are the channeling and the UFOs. So I'm happy because I want it the channel to grow, to have all kinds of subjects, and it's fascinating to me to see that, that we're getting a lot of traffic now on the other subjects. All right, let's bring in Susie. And RJ's there. Hi, RJ. Thanks for popping in. RJ's got a new book out, or it's coming out in July. Maybe you want to pop in and tell us about it. But I think I got an email from your publicist talking about that. And I've done 2 videos with RJ. So if you haven't seen them, be sure to check those out, because those have been pretty popular. Okay, ask to unmute and ask to.
this guy saying it was supposed to be an upcoming since 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I don't remember honestly which one that was. Oh, it's Susie. All right, Susie was just on recently. Susie, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
there
How are
you
you
are.
doing?
Great. How are you?
Hello?
All right. If you guys haven't
Yes,
seen
here
it,
I am. Yes.
Susan was on just the other day. What day did we post your podcast? Was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember what day we posted that.
I think it was Sunday.
Sunday night, and it did
Yes.
well. And I think it was received very well. As a lot of people reached out to you.
Oh, they sure have. I mean, it was amazing. And I told them, if they want to continue to talk on Gmail, go right ahead and we
Mhm.
will. And no gifts, no presents. I don't need this, just friendship. And that's free and important.
And it's so right I think that's what we're lacking, is the human connection.
Yes. Yes, I agree too.
So how many emails did you get? 50,
Oh,
100?
gosh. I don't know. I had to clean out my email and get the junk out of there. There were so many.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Well,
and then I got a lot of comments that were good, and it was good.
Do you have anything? What else did we not share do you remember anything that you wish you would have talked about that we didn't talk about that day?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do right now.
All right, tell us.
All right. I had 2 NDEs.
Mm-hmm.
After the second one, which was they cut off the life support, and I felt love and peace, but I had a choice to go or stay, and I stayed. After then, there were times I left my body again when I was in a hospital. It was strange because that's just what happened.
Why do you think that happened?
Because I kept almost dying, but I got like a contract to come back, and I came back.
Mm-hmm.
I know at one time I heard some nurses talking, saying that in their opinion, I was being overdosed on Dilaudid, and I really didn't need that much and all this stuff, but I didn't have any family there to help me or go home to, and they just kind of did what they did. But I do remember, well, this is the really big thing I remembered. I remembered leaving my body and going in front of an elevator and beating on the elevator saying, I don't belong down here. I don't belong down here. Now, they were not ghosts, but they were like people that were walking around. But they didn't talk.
But they were out of their bodies too.
Yes. And they were all walking around, and I would beat on that door, and I was like, get me out of here. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And then all of a sudden, a real person come up, and then I went back into my body and got on the elevator and went back up. So apparently somebody had misjudged my death because I wasn't dead. It was a lot like you see I saw about a week or 2 ago, some lady moved in her casket at her funeral, and they discovered she was not gone. So they put her in a stretcher and took her to the hospital and took care of her. But people are human and they can make mistakes.
Yes, that's true.
But they did get me out of there. But I remember beating on that door and beating on that elevator door. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And all these people walking around me, but they weren't real people. They were like visions of people.
Now but I thought that they were people that were dead also walking around.
Yes, that's what they were.
And they were
It was like they were out of body, but they were walking around also.
Do you think they were confused?
Yes. Because they all just walked around me, and all I knew was I had to get out of there. That's all I concentrated on, let me out. But they just all walked around. Nobody spoke to anybody. They just kind of moved around. And I knew I did not belong there. And then somebody noticed something, and I got out of there, which was good.
That's
fascinating. Then another time I had discovered that, they had me on, it would be like a table, an examination table in a doctor's office at the hospital. And I remember coming from somewhere. I don't remember being up looking down, but I remember landing down on that table from somewhere and falling off the table because I landed so hard. And that nurse came in there and said, what's wrong with you? You won't stay on that table. Why do you keep moving off? And I thought, well, maybe I did move off, but I had so much medicine in me, I don't see how it was true. That I read that sometimes when you do leave your body and you come back with a bang. And
Is
so I thought, yes.
is it possible that these NDEs were just a reaction to the dilaudid? Like a hallucination due to the dilaudid, or were they real NDEs and the dilaudid had nothing to do with it?
I know in the morgue, it didn't have anything to do with the dilaudid. No. I know that was for real. And to me, it was such a bang when I came back into my body when I was on that examination table. Because I remember feeling it, woo, and then I fall off the table. And then the nurse, what are you doing? Why are you on the floor? And so I felt like I left my body, and then it wasn't my time, but I signed another contract or whatever I did up there. And then I came back and fell off the table.
I feel like that it had already been decided that you're going to stay. So it doesn't matter what happens while you're back, because it's already been, like I said, it's already been decided.
Yes. I just have to know my purpose, and it's working out that way, and I will, as I learn about channeling and all kinds of different things. There's so much to learn about.
Do you feel like you could be able to channel?
I would like to try to. I listened to a lady you were talking to today, and I think she goes by Athena.
Athena. Yeah. She have red hair?
Greek goddess. Yeah. Well, no, I think she had blonde hair.
Okay, maybe I was thinking of someone else.
Yeah. Anyway, she was like, she would channel Athena, and I'm watching these people, and I'm thinking that would be really good. I know I want to do remote viewing, but not for the government. No. I want to do remote viewing for people that, like, if they lose a child, disappears, and they don't know where it is and where's my baby, and help them in that way.
I may have asked you this when we spoke, but I don't remember. But have you seen a UFO?
I think I did. I drove from in the late 1970s in a Volkswagen from Memphis to San Francisco. And wow. I think, during that hot summer, but when you're in your early 20s, it don't matter. You just go for it. Yeah. So I remember seeing something, and I'm thinking it was right around New Mexico or around in that area, and wondering what that was I was seeing. But a lot of times back then, you kept your mouth shut because people would think, oh no, something's wrong with her. She's got to go into a safe place. She's seeing things that aren't there.
What advice do you have to people who are afraid to share either their NDE or UFO sighting or whatever?
The world is in a shift now. You could tell it's shifting. And I would say find people that are like yourself. Because I had a friend keep inviting me, come to church. So I ended up in a Pentecostal church with, you do not wear pants, you do not cut your hair, you do not wear makeup. And I thought, well, no, this is not where I belong. No. So find a place. I'm in the Bible Belt right now, which is good, but I am looking for a place somewhere where there are more people like myself that are more open-minded and more spiritual.
Yeah.
And they're not in Mississippi.
By the way, you should join my Discord. So what Discord is, it's a free, you go to discord.com. It's totally free, and you set up your profile. And once you set up your profile, then you click on my link that's in the description of this video, and it'll get you into they're like chat rooms. And I need to revamp it because someone told me. I think I'm going to redo it like the rooms, where I'm going to put like NDE room. So if you want to hang out and talk about NDEs, and UFO room, if you want to talk about UFOs, and maybe a channeling room. So there's different rooms you can hang out with and chat with other people. And there's about at least 500 people that are there. So if you want to, you know, at least you can, at least online, you can hang out with like-minded people. You know, it's hard to do in your town, but you know, virtually
tell me about it.
You can do
one grocery store and 2 pharmacies. You don't hang out much here, but yes, it's called Discord.com.
Yeah, DISCORD. So you can do that. Well, Susan, it was a pleasure seeing you again. I only give people around 15 minutes ish, and I've got 2 people waiting on me, so I'm going to have to go soon. But is there anything else you would like to say before you go?
Your life is like a canvas, and you are the one that paints it. Paint it your way.
That's great.
So that is your life, and you do it the way you want to do it. That's just what I have to say.
I think it's great. Do you remember what number your podcast number was?
No, I don't.
Today's was 832, 833, I think. So it was probably 820 something. But it was only like a week ago, so you guys should be able to find hers pretty easily. And go check it out after this live stream. All right, Susan, I got to run. I will see you later.
Yes, and tell Mara hello, and you take care, and I will be back.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir.
Right, bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye.
I'm going to give her a big round of applause. I forgot to do that for Merlin. All right. So let's bring in Angela.
Hello.
Hello. We hear you. We just don't see you yet. I just tried to help you.
Okay.
There you are. Hey, Angela. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Mara. So I wanted to come on and talk about, you said that you have watched movie from Dr. Stephen Greer.
Yeah, I just watched it a couple nights ago, The Close Encounters 5. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it, but I watched last night. Dr. Stephen Greer had a groundbreaking National Press Club event.
Yeah, I watched
Monday.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that. What do you think about that?
I think it's very important because he already has 50 attorneys working on a RICO case to file against the U.S. government and the contractors for the military who are producing what is it called? Not UFO, aerial phenomena. He shows the difference between an actual UFO and a man-made aerial phenomenon.
I missed that. What is the difference?
You have to go look yourself. It'll go side by side. Just go scroll through the presentation he's got on his YouTube channel right now. It's from Monday. And you could just go scroll through and it'll show pictures of what the difference is. I cannot go into detail about it, but there are differences. And you will be able to see the difference when you see the pictures, which I think is interesting, because how do we know if we see an aerial phenomenon, if it's actually a UFO from outer space or if it's man-made? And he's talking about that there is a timeline that the U.S. government has to come out with this evidence. And they're supposed to have a hearing in July at the Congress. I think it's U.S. House of Representatives. They're supposed to have hearing, but they have until the end of the year to make to release information, or these 50 attorneys that already on the case. One of them is out of New Mexico that was on the panel that spoke at the conference. They are getting ready to file a RICO charges against the U.S. government.
By the way, as we're talking about it, I decided to go ahead and buy the CE5 app. I bought it this morning. It was like $10.
It's $10.
Yeah.
I want to do it too. Also, he has another movie that is called The Lost Entry and How to Reclaim It, that it just got released. So wherever you saw the other movie from, go watch this one too.
Right.
It is on there.
Right. And I haven't had Stephen Greer as a guest. I don't know him I'd like to, yeah. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
So I'm not promoting his stuff. I don't even know the man personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video the other night with Michael Denny. He kind of inspired me to go watch that video.
Yes, that's what made me go look up Dr. Stephen Greer on YouTube. And then right after that, I watched Dr. Stephen Greer's his conference. This is a very important conference. This is going to get a lot of traction. Trust, I just feel it in my bones. I just, like, as soon as I watch this, I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be huge. So I think that you should actually try to get Dr. Stephen Greer on your show.
I would like to. It's hard for me to get big guests like that. And that's why it's very important for me to get to this channel, to get, if I had 1 million subscribers, I don't even have to try. They'll be knocking on my door saying, please let me be on your show.
You will get 1 million subscribers if you have him on your show.
Yeah, you're right.
I guarantee, because he knows what he's talking about. And UFOs, they work in a higher realm than us. I think I told you that I had a reading from Solar Line 144 who was on your
he was on the
show.
guest. Yeah,
and he communicates with the aliens. They will come and communicate with him, and it's different Palladians, Arcturians, Andromedan. It just depends on who he can tell who's who. So what I'm wondering is, like, with what Dr. Stephen Greer announced on this conference, is how do we tell? I know we can tell, like, what he shows us on side by side of the spacecraft, what's human made and what's alien made. But how do we as amateurs tell if we're just looking up in the sky? Yeah. So did you watch the video I did with Dr. Courtney Brown? No, what number? It was kind of depressing for a lot of people, and I understand that, but he's gosh, I don't know, but it was probably a month ago, 6 weeks tops. Courtney Brown? Yeah, and Dr. Courtney Brown, I mean, he's a guy that, he's got a PhD in political science. He works at Emory University, which is where the CDC is. It's a top-notch university, and he works there, and he's all about UFOs, and he says that if I need to buy a new camera anyways, because I just have a webcam here, and I need to upgrade my webcam to I want to change it to a regular mirrorless camera, so my image will be much clearer. Right. But
he's telling everybody you go buy a mirrorless camera and you change you can take something out of the IR, and basically you can make your camera record in infrared. And he's saying that if you can just take your camera, it's got to be an infrared, and you've got to record it at 4K and 120 frames per second, which is fast. So it's kind of like you're basically, you're spinning you're recording really fast. So when you slow it down, it'll be kind of clear. And he's saying you could just take out the camera and point it at the sky at any time and just let it record for 10 minutes and come back down and look at it on your computer, and you will see UFOs.
But
I've seen his Instagram, and you can see the UFOs on his Instagram flying across the sky.
I'm gonna check that out. But my question is, how do we tell if it's alien or human made?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That is the question for me. Also, if you go look at this conference, it's it's like a minute over 3 hours long. That's on YouTube. But it is worth every second. You will see whistleblowers that are on there that talk about stuff. And some of the whistleblowers have had death threats already. He's had death threats too. He used to be an ER doctor.
Yeah, Tanya told me it's podcast guest 813.
813? Okay. I look it up.
Yeah, it discusses how the earth is a trap and how to do videos and more.
Yeah.
So, but he's a one, like I said, a lot of people that, some of these videos are very controversial, and that was very controversial because he's saying that we're all trapped here. And a lot of people, that's kind of opposite of Dr. Greer. He's saying the aliens are good, and he says the aliens are bad.
I think there are bad aliens, but I think that there are good aliens too, because I think it's free will. We have to invite it. So I think maybe reptilians are maybe bad aliens, and some of the other aliens are good aliens.
What's also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what's also fascinating is the man that I had on a couple nights ago, Michael Denny.
Yeah.
I went and watched one of his videos because he talks about he was on the beach and he just started doing the CE5 protocol, and he had like a radio. I think it just had it on static in between stations.
Yeah.
And I heard his radio make this noise, this weird noise. And he said he talked to the aliens and they were doing that. And what's fascinating is on Stephen Greer's movie, the CE5, they're doing that. And it's the same exact sound in that, that someone's doing in the movie that he's getting on his radio.
That is very interesting. I thought, because I think I told you that I had that prolific dream where I saw a spaceship, but I really think that it was maybe, even though it was in my dream, it was so real. Like I knew that it was happening. And that was the day before I had a reading with Solar Line 144. Almost 24 hours to the minute that I had a reading with him.
Yeah. By the way, I want to say something, and I don't want it to be offensive. I'm hoping this will be encouraging.
Yeah.
You've suffered, I can't remember what the medical condition you suffered, but your speech has gotten a lot better.
I've been practicing my speech. I have a functional neurological disorder. But I've been practicing my speech. My insurance does not pay for speech therapy, so I go to YouTube and practice speech therapy for people who've had strokes and Parkinson's disease. So I practice over and over again.
That's great.
I want to get better. So
to me, you're a lot better than from the last time I've seen you. I think it's working, and you should keep it up.
Yeah, and then eventually I want to be able to work again because I have a patent. I already have a U.S. and international patent. I just need to get it manufactured.
I don't see why you can't work now.
is coming up with the money. And then like I was contacted by the As Seen on TV guy, and I had to put a sell sheet together for him. A simple sell sheet it was called. It's just a one pager. It talks, gives just the basics, and so he said that he cannot do that as seen on TV because it deals with filters like for COVID and stuff like that. So they cannot do that. But I would like to get it manufactured. I just don't want to. I want to license it out and make money off of it, because I don't want to be the one overseeing the manufacturing of it, because you have to. There's so much you got to do, and I don't have the. I have the tenacity to do it, but I just don't have the. I just think it'd be too much. It'd be beyond my knowledge.
Right. Now, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You've had a dream of a UFO, right?
Yeah, a prolific dream of UFO the
you
day
know what?
before.
Let's do this. We have Michael Suarez in there, the dream analysis expert.
He already did one of my other dreams.
Oh, he did? I'd be curious to say what
Bring him on.
What does he have to say about UFOs in your dream?
Bring him on. That's curious.
Let's see if he should be on his way here.
He's connecting to audio.
I don't know if he was listening to us or not, but we'll.
Hey, Michael.
Michael, can you hear us?
Yes.
We would like you to decipher her UFO dream. Can you do that for us?
Yeah, sure.
So it was I call it prolific dream, where it felt so real. I dreamt that it was the day before I was to have a reading with Solar Line 144, who had been on Jeff's podcast. And I scheduled a reading with him because he connects with UFOs in the sky, and he videotapes it. So I was very curious because I wanted to find out what alien race I connect with. And so he told me on Andromedan is what he told me. But anyway, I had this dream like almost 24 hours exactly to the minute that I had a reading with him. And what I dreamt was I was in this park, and there were a lot of people around, and you could see the skyline of a city in the background. It was not where I live now in Austin. It was a different skyline. And I was sitting down on a sort of like I was going to have a picnic on a blanket, but it was nighttime. And so I was getting up to leave. And as I was leaving, some people were looking at the skyline to the right, but I looked up and I saw this spaceship. It was round, and it had it lights from the middle, from the very middle, and it was huge, a huge UFO. And there was a guy beside me, and I told him, I tapped him on the shoulder. I did not talk to anyone. I tapped him on the shoulder and pointed up to the UFO. And then he fell down. He was so stunned, he fell back and he could not give up. And then I woke up and I was on my elbow and I was looking up at the UFO, but I woke up.
Okay. Well, I'm still thinking about a little bit of the details, because as we know, every detail counts. So there is a reason why this is occurring in the park, but maybe it's because it's not under the guise of professional, it's more recreational. That said, really we can get to the heart of it. Now, if I'm going to address this symbolically, let's also quickly mention, so people understand what is happening that causes the dream. There is a type of energy that comes up in your body. It can be excitement, it can be stress, etc. And then it goes into it. That energy gets converted into symbolic form, right? And then it speaks very exactly like we when we did your dream last time.
Yeah.
Here, what you are apprehending now, again, there's most dreams, 95% of them are this energetic correspondence. Sometimes there's messages. That's a very small percentage. That's so I'm approaching this again, I assume correspondence. So what is a giant alien craft in the sky? It is an awesome, overwhelming revelation, right? So this is receiving that overwhelming revelation on the earth. And you are also aware of how this is going to affect you and how this is going to affect other people. That's why there's another person here who gets overwhelmed and falls down. Okay. That's primarily actually how what I would say is happening. And again, it can be related for sure to your anticipation of having that session, right? And it can be, as it was last time, some sort of spiritual message that is specifically also for you. But in terms of the symbology, that's what we have. Well, that's what it is. Sorry, go ahead, Angela.
I think it was alien message. I felt after that happened, I felt the best I've ever felt since I was a kid. Physically, I felt like I could probably run 100 miles and not break a sweat. And then when I had the reading with Solar Line 144, he said that he had a connection that I was going to see a spaceship too. So he said that it came to him that he said I would actually witness a spaceship also. So, and that connection. So I feel like it kind of changed me and made me feel like UFOs are for real. And now that like I've been looking at stuff with like Dr. Stephen Greer and some other places, and even JeffMara, because I used to not believe in UFOs, but I totally believe in it now, 100%. There's just too much that's going on. So it's just.
Well, the overall idea of your dreams, both the one that we talked about last time, where you were in your aunt's house, and there were many rooms, and they were getting unveiled, and this one,
you were right.
The basic theme, thank you. The basic theme that is shared in both of them, again, is this theme of getting supernatural revelation. Yeah. One of the things that stood out that always stood out to me in your dream is, we talked about how you are surprised because you're like, wow, this is so different from how I used to think it was. That's what's happening. And I definitely sense, Angela, that's what's happening in your life. Your mind is being transformed by all these revelations and changes.
I think that I don't know if you know who Dolores Cannon is, and she talks about the elevation of the earth going into higher dimensions. I think that's what's, and people too, I think that's what's happening, is it's that we are actually elevating and going in higher dimensions. Because if you ask me myself, if I asked myself 10 years ago, if I believe this, I would say, hell no, I don't believe. Yes. But today you ask me, and I believe it 100%. Yeah. And I think that there's more mind-blowing stuff that is going to be realized on this earth before we actually shift into higher dimensions, that it is going to be so mind-blowing, not just to me, but to a lot of people.
Yes, it's not like, remember I told you when I sent you when we did your interpretation, every detail counts. And I promise every dreamer that. Every detail counts. So the fact that there were other people in that dream means that you are perceiving that other people are going to be affected by that revelation. I would also sort of confirm and just come in agreement with that, Angela. I actually believe that what's happening is, for me, I explained it as we're realizing what we are.
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
That's exactly. I think that, because I've been watching a lot of different things, and I will hear different things from different people, but it's the same message told in different words. But then some of them use the same words, but it's the same message.
Yeah.
And you cannot have that many different people who do not know each other that are continually bringing the same message forward. This is like an awakening that we will, is going to be mind-blowing. So
we are the glorious unfolding mystery. We can speak about it. We can take all the creation for granted. It ain't going to change nothing. We are caterpillars who are becoming butterflies.
Exactly.
Strap in your seatbelts.
But I think the world is moving to the 5th dimension, and we are moving to the 5th dimension, and we are helping the world do it, and the world is helping us do it, because we're all conscious beings. The world, everything in the world, the universe, it's all happening. So it's just going to be very prolific, and either you're on that prolific train or you're not. I feel sorry for whoever's not.
Well, guys,
get on board.
Thank you so much for coming on, Michael, and analyzing her dream. And I think you were pretty spot on about that. You know, she was going to have this huge revelation.
Yeah. And I thank you, Jeff, so much for allowing this to happen, because you are a, don't want to say catalyst, but you're a conduit for this to happen. Mm-hmm. It is very important what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And thank you both. I appreciate you both. If you want to find out more about Michael,
Michael.
He's Creative Learning New York. I guess it's New York, right? I'm trying to see your hat. Yeah, Creative Learning New York.
Creative Learning.
He has his book out called The Dream Detective. He has your YouTube channel is called The Dream Detective.
You know what? I should change it to that. It's all Creative Learning New York, because that's what my business name is.
I think I honestly think branding, it makes sense to just totally rebrand yourself as The Dream Detective.
Yeah, agree.
I think it's. You already agree, so I don't have to say anything else.
So, Jeff,
I'm going to leave.
All right, Angela, thanks for coming and hanging with us.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Angela. Bless you. Do we have a moment I'll try to make it quick, address Leslie King's dream?
Sure. I forgot. I remember he was there and he mentioned it last week. I forgot what the dream was.
Okay. And thankfully it was a pretty simple one, but again, wonderful, because it is a good example of like having a dream that's clear, you can learn from, and you can see the practical application. So his dream was basically that they were at some sort of place where people were waiting for a ferry. Okay. Right. And you had a way to get on the ferry that was sort of expedited. Right, and he was concerned about his baggage and stuff, and how if he could do the same thing. And then eventually he ended up doing the same thing. All right. That was generally what I got. I listened to it twice. He has a little bit of an accent, but I got this pretty quick. This is a dream about him learning from you as a creator. The idea of catching a ferry water is almost always the pattern's going to be, it's about how you navigate things. Okay.
Interesting.
Right. How you navigate. Yeah. How you navigate things. So you have a way that you are navigating things on this, in this role, right? Where you bring on guests and you interview them and so on. And Leslie, he has different type of guests on, some of them from different parts of the country and sometimes in other languages. But I do think that this dream is showing him that he's learning from you. Like that's the primary pattern that's being laid out there.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he wants to do it his way, and that's has to do with his bags or baggage. And he has to let go of the baggage and
baggage really quick, because baggage is such a fun one. Baggage is exactly what it sounds like. When a person has bags in the dream, baggage, it's emotional baggage. But now with him, for example, maybe he's thinking, and it could be like almost intellectual emotional. He could be thinking like, oh, but Jeff, he does it this way, and I must do it this other way. You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be baggage.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That was my impression of Leslie.
It was good. You know, Michael, when you say stuff to us, when you give us your analysis, it seems obvious, but you really have a gift for this, because when I listen to the dream initially, I don't pick up all the obvious stuff like you do. So a tip of the hat to you, Michael. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And the great thing is there is a power that does it through me, and I just learned to be in harmony with that. But thank you so much, guys. It's another great show, Jeff.
All right, thank you. All right, buddy. Well, you have a great evening.
All right, you too.
I'll see you later. And a big round of applause for Michael. And we've got Stephen and Evan here, our good friends from Australia, father and son. And before they come on, while we're waiting, I want to say thank you so much to Top Notch. It was Top Notch, right? Top Notch, thank you so much for that super thanks. I really appreciate it. And it said, I believe, Happy Father's Day. So thank you for that. And if you're a father, Happy Father's Day to you, and to all the other fathers out there, have a Happy Father's Day. And this is going to be a father and son coming on, which is Stephen and Evan. And they're already in Australia. They're already on Sunday. Now, I don't know if they celebrate Father's Day on the same day as we do. You know, I don't know if this is an international Father's Day or not. If anybody's here internationally, I'm curious to, you could let us know in the chat. Is it Father's Day in your country as well? And they're kind of popping on slowly. Maybe they're having not a good connection in Australia. The Australian dudes. We'll see. Should be here any moment. So yeah, I went ahead and I bought today the CE5 app. Well, Evan.
Hi, how you going?
Hey, Evan, how's it going? And there is Steve. All right, we got to say, is today Father's Day in Australia?
No, I think is it in September?
I don't know.
I think it's a little bit further on, but we just had our new King's birthday on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was very exciting. Everyone fell asleep.
So we public holiday.
He's our father, isn't he?
Well,
He is your father in some sort of sense, yes? Well, I'm going to say Happy Father, even though it's not celebrated in your country tomorrow or today, actually, where you're at, but Happy Father's Day to you anyways.
Thank you. We'll go with that.
And now you guys are having another, I don't know if you'd call it a symposium or another production on alien ancestors, right?
Yeah.
Is it coming up this Saturday or next Saturday?
It's coming up on your time in North America, the 24th of June. So that's next weekend, isn't it?
Next weekend.
The 24th of June. Yes, that's right. All right. Who are your guests and what is the topic this coming week?
Well, our guests, this is the first time ever. Our guests are myself, Evan, and Leah. We're not bringing in another guest this time round.
Really?
Because Leah just spent some time in Egypt.
So we really wanted to focus on that.
Wow,
Because,
interesting.
And what we were interested in, being a person who can remember a past life in Atlantis, and Atlantis being, Egypt being a copy of Atlantis, we wanted to look at the relationship between Egypt, Atlantis, and Australia. So we're going to link the three together and find out what bound them together and what separated them.
Now, you know, this is a little off topic and I'm going to come back to this, but I just want to, it's on my mind. I just did a podcast with someone from, we talked about Lemuria recently. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
No, we didn't.
We did one recently, and I can't remember. It was probably within a week or two at the most.
Oh, we'll have to check it out.
And about Lemuria being off of South America. I thought it was somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, but this person was saying it moved over to near South America, and I can't remember. It was a woman. I'm pretty sure it was this woman that. It might have been Claire. It was Claire Matira. She's living in Peru, and she's originally from Holland, but for many, many years before going to Peru, she's lived in Australia. Okay. And she's in Peru, and now she's going back to Australia. But we had a long discussion on Lemuria. And I don't know if you know.
We've got no problem with that because we believe that the Pacific Ocean, which runs to the far edge of South America across to Australia, was part of what you would call a Lemurian Empire. We've always believed that was the case. And we felt that the two groups were separated, and we have information which Lee is going to share about the fact that the Atlanteans were banished from Lemuria. And they made it clear in their writings, they would never say why, but they made it clear that nobody from Atlantis should ever go to Lemuria. And we believe the Lemurians were watching what Atlantis was doing and said, listen, boys and girls, we're stepping back. You keep away from us because we don't think the path you're walking down is healthy. So that'll be part of our presentation. So we won't be contradicting your friend.
And I was mentioning you guys to her because we did a podcast together on the rings and the jewelry that you have from Lemuria. Do you still have that?
Oh, yes, we have both.
We talked about the metals and of that jewelry.
Yeah, that'll be there. We're going to do the Atlantean rings and we're doing the Lemurian rings and we're going to look at why they're so different and what they represent. Yeah, definitely.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Leah Capitelli is their good friend that they put on these productions with. She has been a guest. She's been an ET contactee for many, many years, and I believe she channels an ET as well, right?
Correct. Yes, she does.
Will she be channeling when you guys are getting together?
Absolutely. In fact, it's funny because when I was sitting outside writing out the questions she used to ask Mesref, I will be asking a lot of questions about Egypt and, of course, its links to Atlantis. And I'm going to be asking him questions about the rings and their function. I'm going to be asking him about how the pyramids were made, what their purpose was. We're going to spend a lot of time because Mesref would have been watching all of that. He was actively involved with Atlantis, wasn't he? And fully aware of what the Egyptians were doing. And we sort of feel like the Egyptians were trying to recreate Atlantis again in a different way. But here's the point. They failed again. And it's a bit like what Einstein said. If you keep doing something that doesn't work, don't keep doing it. It's not going to work. And here we are doing Atlantis for the third time.
Now,
so it all links together.
Do you think Mesref, I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, Mesref?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Will Mesref be able to tell everybody how the pyramids were actually made in Egypt?
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Well, let's add that as a question.
It is. It is a question. I am asking that question. So we've discussed privately some of this information, but it wasn't put up. But because it fits into what we're doing this time around, yes. Were they involved in some? I don't know how much they were involved in the making of the pyramids, how much they were involved in the planning of the pyramids, but were they involved all the way through directly and indirectly? Yes, they were. But after Atlantis, it becomes more indirect, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because they did think that Atlantis was the purpose they came here for. This is when they thought that humans had really hit the top level, and that's what they came for. And then they realized, no, we did not. And then they stepped away. Leah talks about in the days before the destruction, all the aliens were living with the Atlanteans just disappeared. They walked away and they left. And by the time Atlantis was destroyed, there were no aliens left in Atlantis. They knew what was coming, walked away, and made a promise until we get our act together, they would stand back from a distance and wait until we got our act together and we got our story correct.
Here's a question I'd like you to ask, Messereth. Is it possible that the Egyptians are just as old as the Atlanteans? And if not, did the Atlanteans move from Atlantis to Egypt?
I will be asking that question. I'm just writing it down now.
Actually, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Atlanteans.
Yeah, I will be asking that.
Thank you.
And I will actually mention the fact this is not my question, but yes. Okay, it's in there.
Thank you.
Doing them up right now, so your timing was perfect. Yes, I will ask him about their ages and whether they're contemporaries or whether one came before the other. Great question, and it will be asked.
Are you still meeting with Aboriginal elders?
Oh, yes, constantly.
We just had one kindly send us some bush medicine.
Yes, one
not
last
only
year.
4 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Both managed to get the flu, and as soon as he said that, he sent us I think it was emu plant.
He did, an emu plant. He told us an emu plant where the emu eats this particular seed, which is poisonous to everyone.
But the emu.
But he doesn't, they just run it through their system, don't they?
Yeah.
And when it comes out the other side, that's when they collect them, because that's when it becomes a medicine. So, yes, we're all constantly in contact with our elders, because we don't go anywhere on country unless we're asked by elders. We don't barge into other people's country, and they know that. So they contact us when they need us or when they're trying to help us. So, yeah,
I don't know what part of Australia you live at, but are you in an area where you are closer to the interior, where you are physically closer to the elders?
No, we're on the coast. We're up a place near a place called Byron Bay on the right on the east coast of Australia. And the east coast of Australia, there are Aboriginal people in our area. There are 13 tribes, but are they living the old way? Not that much. No, there's Uncle Lewis, isn't there?
Yep.
Auntie Trudy.
Yep.
Yeah, the two around here that are closest, we've worked with constantly.
They've been on our show several times.
Several times, yeah. But outside that, it gets harder. But I still do work with the Ramangeri, and they're very much more old way, and they're about 3,000 k's from where we live. But I'm in weekly contact with them through meetings we have with the group there. So our contact with the original elders never stops. They're watching us all the time.
And some will watch for years before they reach out.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll just all of a sudden, I've been watching you for 10 years. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, okay.
That's amazing.
So you never know who's going to
No, you don't.
pop up.
No, they keep popping up at different times.
Evan, let me ask you this. I have a feeling that you possibly may be a musician. I see the Tool picture in the back there. Do you play the didge?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I didn't get any musical talent, but I love music, so that's why that's there. And, I collect vinyl, old school vinyl and whatnot. So I've had to put all my music love into watching and collecting and listening, which I got from him because he brought me up on progressive rock from the 60s and 70s. So my background's Pink Floyd.
Yes.
King
What
Crimson.
about AC/DC, one of your local bands?
I like AC/DC, and saying that, like there's a whole bunch of great Australian bands, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and In Excess, Ice House, you name it. Like I've tried to put my fingers everywhere. I have seen Tool about 4 times. So yeah, I'm obviously a big fan, but that's a carry through of progressive rock, right? So and we're both big Muse fans, actually.
Yeah, we
Our
both
last
like Muse.
article, he actually quoted a Muse song.
Oh yeah, I really like that band a lot too.
Oh,
Yeah, I
a
think
good
they're
choice.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful singer. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I didn't, and I dabbled with the saxophone, and
Mhm.
and I just don't have that talent, unfortunately. So I really respect people that do. And the didge, yeah, I've given it a go. Man, that circular breathing's hard.
It's
Oh, no,
very
no.
hard. I've tried
Oh,
it.
It's tough.
I used to practice doing it just with a straw, just so I could
Oh,
try to
that's how
get
you
that
start.
breathing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how you start.
And for
It's
those of
hard,
you
right?
that don't know what we're talking about, I'm calling it the didge. It's really the didgeridoo. It's an Australian instrument. Looks like a big, I don't know what they make it out of, some kind of plant. And they blow into it, and it kind of has this low sound. It's hard to describe, but they do this thing called circular breathing, and while the sound is constantly breathing out of their mouth, so the sound never stops, but they're able to breathe in and out, breathe in with their nose, so that it can be a continuous sound.
It
And
is.
it's kind of tricky to do. As I was saying, if you do it with a straw, you kind of have to puff up your cheeks and blow. While you're blowing out with your cheeks, you're inhaling with your nose.
And
So
the water
this-
goes everywhere.
So
Yeah, I know.
it's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So this is going to be on alienancestors.com.
Yeah, ouralienancestry.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
ouralienancestry.com for those of you that want
Sorry,
to check it.
.net.
Dot
I
net.
got it wrong.
All right, let me start over. It's going to be on ouralienancestry.net.
That's it.
It'll be probably next Saturday, our time, I'm guessing, or Sunday, and maybe Sunday your time, or what are the
That's it.
times?
So if you're in Los Angeles or that side of America,
That's
you're
Pacific
looking at
time.
that's 4 p.m. If you're over in New York,
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And I'm imagining the middle would be somewhere in between Chicago time.
Yeah, Centrals. Yeah, it would be 6.
And they do have a day to watch it. So you don't have to watch it that day. You've got a full day if you want to watch a bit of it and watch some later. I'll watch
Which is
it later on.
beneficial if anyone's listening from London.
Oh, yes. And Europe.
It's the middle of the night for them, unfortunately.
We
I could only get us and one other time zone, so it makes it really...
So we chose America.
I've been, it's funny as I've done a lot of interviews with Australians, and it's always like, it's this time whenever I record, nighttime for me and morning for you guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it works out good in that sense.
And actually my last 2 Australian guests were Americans living in Australia. The one that I posted last night with the channeler, Daniel Scranton, was living somewhere up by Melbourne, and then I had this other guy, Michael Denny. He was up there somewhere near the Gold Coast or somewhere as an American guy that I spoke with. He's a surfer. He's up there doing surfing.
Oh yeah, people surf here too. So we're only about an hour away from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, we're right next to it.
Yeah. So it must be a great place to surf.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, and now, do you have anything else going on that you want people to know about besides the thing coming up next weekend?
The weekend after. It's funny because we do have someone from Canada coming across, don't we? Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a ceremony, a series of ceremonies and workshop on our property with all the sacred objects we've got, and we're going to take people through 4 different ceremonies, which is fantastic if you're in Australia and New Zealand. But strangely enough, someone from Canada.
Yeah, and the last time someone came from Brazil, so you never know.
You never know. Yeah. We're doing that a week after again. It's about 2 weeks away, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's
do you guys ever do fire walking, walk on hot coals, stuff like that?
We're in contact with someone that does that
and wanted us to do it.
Haven't done it yet. He's pretty keen for me to do it. So it's probably on the cards at some point.
Well, for you maybe. My feet are too old.
Have you done it?
I have not. No, I haven't.
Right.
But a lot of people do it, and they're successful at it. So
I know. Don't know how or why, but you're right. Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, it's ourancestry.net. Next weekend is there, I don't know why I keep stumbling on that word. What would you call that? Your what?
Oh, presentation.
Your presentation.
Your
presentation
is
with Leah Capitelli. She is a channeler. And I need to get, when I had Leah on, she wasn't channeling. I think she just told me about her life. So when you get a chance, ask her, maybe she'll want to come back and channel for us live.
She could do that. She could if she sets it up in advance. We could set that up for you for sure. We'll have a chat to her next time we speak to her, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
All right, fellas, y'all have a great show next weekend.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you again.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I enjoy doing it.
All right, they already left. Oh, well. And a big round of applause for the father and son. And yeah, we did a podcast together a long time ago, me, Evan, and Steven, and it was about Lemuria, and he had some jewelry, and he had an amazing story about how he came to acquire those pieces of jewelry. And they've done a metal analysis, and from what I remember, the metals don't occur in a natural way. And the different combinations of metals, which I guess they're claiming to be from Lemuria. So if you're into that and kind of archaeological stuff like that, then I think you'll enjoy that podcast. All right, so let's see what is coming up. Oh, who's saying that? Oh, Michael, what? That was Michael said we should. Yeah, I should probably. I don't know what it is. What we need to do to get more people. I'd like to have it like 10,000 people here at once, like the video gamers do. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe maybe I should make a daily post, and we'll see if that helps. I don't know if I would. I thought perhaps maybe it would, be annoying if I keep making a community post about don't forget Saturday Night Live, come and share, but maybe it wouldn't. I'll have to give it a shot. Right? Well, my wife was telling me that Michael said I should, I not really advertise, but let everybody know about the live, Saturday Night Live that we do here. And I used to make some posts that would say, okay, everybody come tonight. Maybe once a week. Maybe once a week or twice a week. All right, we have Philip here, and we have Steve walking. That must be Steve Cake. Last time it was Steve at the golf course. Now Steve's he's walking today, so I was wondering about if Stephen Cake was going to be here, and it looks like he is here. I do have a Twitter. Yes, I do. It's JeffMara P, I think. And I think if you look in the regular videos, you'll see a link to it. And by the way, we're still working on our website. It should be done hopefully by next weekend, because we're just waiting on them to finish it up, and so far it's looking pretty cool what they're doing with it. And I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long. When you're not in control, when you give up control to somebody else, we're on their time. So that's where I'm at with that. All right, I guess we'll see what's going on with Phil. I guess this is going to be Roy's or Roy's. Community posts are not annoying. Do not worry. Okay, thank you, Kimberly. I'm glad I got that. He was here. He's popping in and out. Maybe his internet is not powerful enough. An original post to get attention, okay. Are aliens among us? Helen, yes. At least that's what people say. And I keep putting it out there that I want a real ET to come here and show up on Saturday night. That would be amazing. I don't know what I have to do to get that done. I mean, most likely a real ET isn't going to announce that he or she is real. But you never know. I think that with the ET people, they say that you have to ask. even if you want to make contact, you have to ask. So even if, maybe if you're doing a CE5, you have to put it out there that you're reaching out to them, because they won't reach out to you first. All right, I wonder what's going on with Phil's system here. And anyways, I never finished that. So yeah, I bought Greer's his for $10, $9.99 plus tax. I bought his CE5 app for my iPhone, and I think there's a meditation on it. So oh wow, he's almost there. And so I figured I could just do his meditation and then hopefully see some beings. Luke, I have to change I listened to it after I did it the other day, and I actually should put the song on here. I'm glad you said that. I should put that in my little sound disc, because I have like this, like when I play music like this in the background, I have like these buttons that I put my music, and I should put my music there. I'm glad you said that. I need to redo that and put my music there. But when I play it live, I've got to change the audio setting or it cuts out, and it's kind of weird. And I don't know if that'll really affect it, and I just hate to kind of stop and start fooling around with all the audio stuff. So what I'm going to do here, Phil, is that I'm not kicking you out. Oh, anyways, I never finished. I'm going to try the meditation out. I hope I can get great results from you. I saw someone else that said on the 4th time of doing it, he started seeing UFOs. So it'll be so awesome if I can not only see UFOs, but if I can as well get video of it with my own video. I think that would take this podcast to the next level if I start seeing UFOs. So hopefully with the app, I will be able to do so. I cannot guarantee, as I said before, I don't know Stephen Greer. He's never been a guest. And so I'm not promoting him. I'm just sharing with you guys my life and what I'm up to. Can you let us know again what the meditation is? It's on the app, Angela. Stephen, when you buy the app, there's a meditation, at least one there. I just kind of glanced at it quickly this morning. I didn't even really read through it much. All right, so you should create music for AJ Lowe. I've created my first song. Maybe you can put it in the chat if you go find it. And it's really not a song. It's just background droning using a tambura. And it's just like this background droning music that will help you kind of hopefully get into a meditative state. If you go to JeffMara, that one, yes. And so Mara's gonna put the link into the chat here. So Phil is here on camera or something. That's interesting what that is, that picture there, but he's not there on voice. Have I heard of Howard Wills? I have not, Helen. You think Greer will be on the show soon? I think so too, and I think it would be an amazing guest because he's had an NDE, and I think he would be the perfect person to have on to talk about the ET-NDE connection. And that's why we need to get him on here. And so anyways, I'm going to do this, Phil. I'm not kicking you out. All I'm going to do is put you back into the waiting room, and I'm going to bring in Steve Walking. And then afterwards, we will try to bring you back, okay? So just letting you know. And let's see Steve Walking. There he is.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello there. It looks like you're walking in the outback.
Crikey's, mate. We're out here in Australia, mate. Crikey, watch out for the crooks.
You've got your hat on.
The snakes will get you, mate. The snakes will get you.
It looks like you're in the bush.
Duluth, Minnesota. There it is.
Where are you? Are you up in the highlands of Minnesota?
The Highlands. Yes, we're out in the Highlands out there. Sean Connery taught me a trick once. He should make sure to read my name on the stone here. It's a very important stone to me. Right here. There's the lion symbol. If you can see it, the lions.
There it is.
That's my symbol there.
That's from your family crest?
My family crest, yes. It's Scotland, where I was born. Yeah, I just got done golfing, and I'm out for a walk afterwards. So
you're not Steve on the golf course today.
Oh, but I got my golf clubs, yeah.
Ah, yeah, there you do. Yeah, you do.
Got a
That's right.
5-iron out in my bag. If I got to pull a 5-iron out, I just grab it right out there. Hit a shot about 200 yards down the hole. Right there. That's where it's going.
Now, is this normally the route you take when you make your walking videos?
No, I'm coming back from Inger golf course.
Anger?
Yeah, that's where I have a pass at Inger. So wasn't too busy today.
Someone
Not
wants
too busy out here.
Someone wants to know if you can do Biden.
Look, here's the deal. We are going back to Iraq. I don't.
That
I
sounds
don't
like
do
Bush.
him, but I do someone else. I can't really stand it. You know what I'm talking about? I love Monica. She's wonderful. I love her. Or hold on up there. This is your president speaking. We're gonna go back to the moon. We're gonna do it within 5 years. Hold on up. Trying to speak. We need to go back to the moon, folks. That's where I left my hat. My hat, folks. I left it on the moon. We gotta go back.
So what's new with you?
Yeah, I can't see the chat or anything.
Yeah, what's new with you this week?
I'm praying every day. Yeah, I'm praying like I said, God put me through the enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
So they changed me.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me this voice. So my mind is no longer just me anymore. It's like there's another intelligent agent in my mind that constantly corrects me. And during the enlightenment, they had I called it the mind interface. They had an overlay on reality.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like this greater mind that we're unaware of that can just put an overlay on reality. And they showed me like blessings and because it was Mother Mary training me.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would show me what churches were blessed, where the curses were. And I had to say a lot of blessings too.
Did you see the video I posted today with the woman who had an encounter with Mother Mary?
No, I didn't see that one.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I said it's kind of like there's a greater mind and they'll show up however they want to. So at one point I said, am I in a training program? Because they had different voices. They had different ways to come through to me. So one of the voices was this wonderful voice. It's in my mind, and that I could just listen to it all day long. It was just such a wonderful voice. But most of it was, they called it spiritual boot camp. So most of that was putting the fire under my butt and making me get out there and try to do something.
By the way, I like the beard that you're growing out. I think it looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. I love my beard. I was going to shave it. Liam Neeson taught me how to shave my beard. Let's see if you can see this little cutter going by here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so
there
cool.
There we go.
Are you time traveling? That looks like it's from the 20s.
I'm a time traveler here. Let's get the mind jackers out. What do you want, Jeff? We got Steve.
Did you go? Looks like you went back to the future.
Marty, it's not 1985 anymore, Marty. The future's what you make of it, Marty. If you take that road, Marty, it'll lead one way. You can take this road, Marty. It'll lead another. But it's up to you, Marty. Fate is yours. Yeah, I always wonder about that. Is there fate? Is there destiny?
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a big hodgepodge of just reality? Because the voice tells me it is. Reality just is, and then we believe it is this way. We believe, like I thought I had a spirit with me. Because I'll say, who's moving my hand? Who's doing that? Who's taking over my voice? And they say, nobody. Nobody's doing that. Because they just kind of take me over and I go along with it.
Yeah. It would be interesting if they could actually start using your body and start channeling through you.
That's what they do, but I think it's to try to help me get my life back.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is all about. Because I would call prayer hotlines all the time. I dedicated my life to truth, God, and doing what's right. And they said, if you want the truth, have a great day, have a great ride. Think of some people. That's what I do on my walk. So if you dedicate yourself to the truth and you get up there and you find out, you say, what's the correct belief system? They say there is none.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the, why is there so much arguments and division and they can never get to the truth? I say everyone just needs to be enlightened like me, darling. And be enlightened. It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
I guess nothing. It's just whatever you believe in is true. Doesn't matter what. It's just
we'll
whatever.
Never get to the ultimate truth, whatever that is. I don't think so. I'm just trying to live a life and be a blessing to others while I do that. I say it's like they crushed my whole worldview. Is just like I see everything totally different now. But I want to live my life. I don't want to, I don't want to end this. So, or do anything that would lead to that.
How long have you been playing? How long have you been playing golf for?
Well, I said I got good about. I want to say about 15 years ago. I dedicated myself to getting better at golf, and so I figured it out how to become a golf master out there. I saw Tiger Woods play once, and I dedicated my life to hitting better shots than him. And that's what I've been doing out there. Yeah, I say I don't like golf. They corrected me on this. They said, you don't like golf. You just like hitting balls. I go, that's right. I just like getting out there and hitting those balls, just getting good at it.
That's awesome. Well, are you still posting daily videos?
No, they're not daily, but I did put some shorts up. And I mentioned that I'm suffering and I just wish I had some people in my life that would help me solve this because my family turned on me. Yeah, so that's why I pray every day.
I was talking to my wife, and maybe we need to make an NDE dating website.
Yeah, spiritual. I'm sure they have spiritual dating sites like that. But it's kind of like
somebody.
Yeah, this one woman. I prayed to talk to her, and then I looked in one of my closets, and I had this police report, and I hadn't talked to this woman in so long, and it had her phone number on it because I said, "This is how backwards the government is they say you can't talk to this woman." And I said, "I haven't seen her in 12 years. I don't know where she lives, her number, anything. But if you say hi to her at a golf course, they'll put you in jail and then give you a police report with her number on it and where she lives."
Wow.
So,
there is actually a website out there. I've heard it on Coast to Coast AM, the radio station, and I think it's got a lot of people on it. It's called paranormaldate.com.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, what a genius idea.
We'll have to remote view that one and
Yeah.
see if take a remote view on that one.
The advertisements are good for it too. It'd be like some guy saying, "I like UFOs and Bigfoot, and I can't meet anybody."
Yeah, we're gonna find Bigfoot. You down there? Nope, he's not. Maybe he'll show up later. Maybe it's some UFOs and Bigfoots and ghosts and aliens. I was obsessed with that stuff when I was a kid, trying to figure that out.
Have you ever juggled while being down there on the golf course?
Oh, yes. I bring those balls everywhere I go.
That would be people might get if they see you juggling on the golf course, they might, get a little upset about that.
Yeah. Some people get upset about anything. So, but that's why I like nice people, easygoing, nice people.
Well, that's why we
'Cause
love
it's like-
you, because you're
Oh,
easygoing
thank you.
and
Hey,
nice.
I love you too. Yeah. We should all feel loved. That's what I say. We should all feel like we can get help, because the voice will say people shouldn't care what you're doing, but if you want help, there should be help.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And that's what I want.
You should know that we all love you, and we're looking forward to seeing you every week.
Yeah, and thank you for doing this
And
show.
by coming here, you're making people happy.
Oh, I hope I make them very happy, very happy. Because I want a purpose in life. That's what I want. Because I sit in a room and it's not good. That is like, that's not good. That's why I try to get out.
Yeah.
Because it's not good to just sit there.
I totally agree. I think that being out in nature like you are is very positive and very healing.
Yeah, and I want to have a purpose, and that has to do with people. So,
right.
Like I should be using my gifts and abilities for good, I would say, probably.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Maybe I could do a stand-up comedian show.
Maybe
I'd rather just go around and talk to people. I've done those little stand-ups, and I'd rather just go around table to table and talk to each group. That's more what I like to do more.
I wonder if you could do,
just to get to know people.
Do you think you could do paranormal comedy?
I'm sure I could. Yes. I'm the Highlander now, so of course I can do that. Yeah, I wrote a lot of jokes about religion too that I put in there. Like one of them was like it was like Jesus, mental health or something, and movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Jesus, I had a dream with him. He said he's coming back soon. His eyes glowed red. I said, Jesus, are you off your meds? What's going on? Like,
yeah. See,
and he's always wonderful in the dreams, but the voice tells me he didn't exist. That was created by this the greater mind that can give people all these stories, and they know exactly what people will believe. So I would say like this is during the enlightenment. I said we're all getting fooled, we're all getting hoodwinked, we can never get to that truth, because that greater mind is always going to just give us what we're going to believe.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know about always, but I think that you usually think that aliens are demons. Are you still believing that?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, it's some kind of creation of this greater mind. That's what I think's going on. And for each, because it's like each person, it shows up differently. And they typically, that's what they wanted to, because it's like, but I didn't expect it either. Like the enlightenment training that went on for 6 months. And at one point they told me not to come on the show. So, and they did this energy tapping thing on me, and they would control my voice. Now they alter my voice. So I can't just say whatever I want to whoever. And if I'm typing something down, like they'll just take over my, my hands and they'll just start typing that. So it's kind of like
it's kind of like automatic writing.
It is, but they're messing with me a lot of times too.
They're just playing jokes on. They just like to prank you.
Well, they say this isn't helping you, like YouTube comments. I don't know what. And so they can do it different ways. So sometimes they'll just, in my mind, I'll know what's coming next, what words, and then other times they'll kind of trick me and they won't let me know what's coming.
Yeah.
Like I'll lay in bed sometimes and they'll just say, try to say watermelon. And I'll go, banana. And they'll say, try to say seltzer. And I'll say, ice cream sandwiches. See, they're doing it now. They're taking me over. I love everyone.
All right, brother. I've got to do what I got to do.
All right, man. You got to do what you got to do. You know, hope everyone has a great night. God bless.
God bless you, and thanks for taking us on a walk with you.
Yes.
All right, Stephen. Take care, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh. he's gone. Big round of applause for Stephen. All right, Phil is back. Let's see if we can get him on and see if we can get it to work this time.
All right, brother, I've got to do what I got to do.
All right, Mom, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Phil, you are here in audio. What you want to do is mute the YouTube channel.
Yes.
All right, Stephen, take care, brother.
Relax.
Bye. Oh, he's gone. Big round of applause for Stephen. All right, Phil is back. Let's see if we can get him on and see if we can get it to work.
So, Phil, do you hear me?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I do. Now, you might want to take your YouTube video that you've been watching and mute that, because otherwise it'll keep echoing.
Okay, brother. There we go. All right, how's that?
Perfect. Now, turn on your camera.
Where is my camera? I had it on a minute ago.
I'm clicking that says, here you go. There you are. You made it. All right,
Am
awesome.
I on there? Okay.
You are here. Congratulations. Right. Where are you zooming from?
I'm in Austin.
Oh, you're right up the street. I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, you're in San Antonio. Nice.
Yeah. I've had Trisha Barker's, I think, from Austin, and some. Well, at least she had her NDE there. But I had a handful of guests from Austin.
Have you?
Yeah. What part of Austin
Nice.
are you in?
I live in central Austin on the east side, sort of crossing 290 and 183.
All right, cool. Awesome. Austin's a great city. Great city.
Yeah.
It's really busy. Everybody's moving there, as you probably know that.
Yes, it is busy. I mean, it's I hear the real estate prices are coming down a little bit, so that the peak is past.
Yeah. It's still probably the most expensive city in the state.
I believe so.
Yeah. So what do you have to share with us tonight?
Well, I had an NDE.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had an NDE. And is my video on time with you? Because on mine it's delayed.
You're right on time with me.
Oh, am I? Okay. I won't pay attention to that.
Right.
But I contacted you last week with another name.
Okay.
My YouTube name.
All right.
And in fact, we were going to try to set up a date today, but I said tentatively, and I couldn't do it.
Oh.
Because I've been doing, what's that?
Nothing. Obviously now I understand why I don't know who it is, because it's a different name. And also I get contacted by quite a few people about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I wrote you as Alex Aquarius.
All right, I remember that vaguely.
That's my YouTube channel.
Yeah, because that's not a common name, Alex Aquarius. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a usual surname.
Right.
It's Greek. But no, that's my YouTube handle.
Cool.
But so a lot of times I email that when I'm online and I'm doing social media and digging down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm. And we were going to set up a date for a full podcast, but you never got back to me. Is that what you're saying?
That's right, because I didn't know where I was going to be.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should save this for like a full podcast then.
Yeah.
But you can tease us. You can give out a teaser a little bit if you want to give like a 5-minute teaser. That way we can get people excited about it.
Sure. What happened to me was it was in 2012.
Okay.
It was around the end of the year, and I had a stomach bacteria, and I was sick, and I was at home alone. I had this house, and I was divorced at the time with my kids in split custody, so they would come back and forth. And I was home alone in this 4-bedroom house, and I couldn't sleep, and I kept rolling over, and my stomach hurt really bad. So I got in the shower really hot, and I got in, and I turned on the water, and I was going around in a circle, and it felt so good. And then suddenly I had this projectile vomiting. Wow. And I hit my head on, and I hit my head on the wall, and that made me slip off my toes, and I fell, and I hit the ground. I was in a shower tub. It was like a 2.5 foot square shower tub, or 2 foot square, the kind with glass door and the magnet.
Right. It's just a standing shower. Oh, is it the shower and the tub, like a traditional bathroom, or just like a little small standing shower?
Yeah, it was a standing shower next to a regular tub.
Okay, right.
So I'm in just the standing shower part. But so they usually have about a 4 or 5 inch deep tub around them and the drain was in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
So I slipped and I fell down over the drain. And as I was lying there on the floor like this, I looked up at that brass trim and where the glass touches, and I thought, don't pass out, you're going to drown, don't pass out. And I just thought, oh, you'll be okay. That's where the scene changed and the other things started happening.
And you were out of your body at that point. Were you I don't want to go too deep, but were you outside of your body in your bathroom viewing it all, or did you immediately go somewhere else?
Both. I immediately went somewhere else and then eventually came back to my bathroom and found me.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a good one then.
Yeah.
Have you had any other paranormal experiences before the NDE?
Yes. I've had, when I was a missionary in Argentina, I was Mormon at the time. I've since given up religion.
Did you give it up because of your NDE?
Actually, yes.
Fascinating.
I did. I did, which is, I don't want to get into that one heavy because it might offend people, but I actually, I don't know if you have a lot of people on here that are into the true earth shape.
You mean the flat earth?
The flat earth, yeah.
I've done a podcast on the flat earth with the guy Dave. I thought
Dave Weiss, yeah.
Yeah. I personally, I've done it. I thought he had an amazing presentation. I'm not there yet with saying it's flat, but he almost convinced me.
Did he?
Yeah,
I've known of Dave since 2015 when I came around. I was one of the early adapters into that. And I was actually in the movie Behind the Curve.
I haven't seen that. No, wow.
It's on Netflix, and I was in the intro and I was used in the trailer at the film festival.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's awesome.
And,
I didn't know there was a movie about it.
Yeah, it was a mockumentary, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I was living in Houston at the time, and there was a woman named Patricia that ran a YouTube channel called Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. And I would go listen on that every Wednesday. She would podcast from her house, and there was a chat room, and I was even one of the moderators. And so we got all invited to this dinner, and the movie producer was there, and he interviewed me on camera out on the patio. But then after that, there was kind of a fallout. This is when Susan took over YouTube. And I didn't want to be associated with flat earthers at that time. And I also got a job, and I couldn't go to that podcast every Wednesday.
Right.
So, but yeah, I was in there chatting with David, and he knows of me as Alex Aquarius there. I did that all as Alex Aquarius.
That's cool.
But that was, but anyway, yes, when I was on my mission, I actually had an out of body experience where I went up through the planets, through the waters above, and into the firmament. Wide awake. Wide awake.
It's my understanding that the Mormon religion is actually pretty receptive to NDEs, more than any other. Not yours. Okay. From my limited conversations with people who had NDEs that are or were Mormons or somehow were affiliated with Mormonism, it appeared that the religion from their experience was accepted. I don't know about yours, obviously, but
in mine, let's say in my first thing that happened to me, that was in 1985 when I went to the firmament, I actually spoke with beings there. I'll just leave that one there. Then when this other near-death experience happened, I went somewhere else, and I consider it the cue to the moon, to the reincarnation cycle. And I went.
Can you say that? I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said the cue to the moon?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Have you ever listened to John Lear?
Okay, is that the guy, the son of the Learjet guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Bob Lazar's friend. He lives out in Vegas.
Okay.
I was listening to him on one of his shows one time, and he was talking about how he was trying to prove that there was a base on the moon.
Okay.
Where these beings basically prepare your spirit for reincarnation.
Okay, yeah.
And I may have had that in my head, which is why I believed that. But
Mhm.
you know, I had contemplated that. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
I didn't say anything. I'm just
Oh,
listening.
okay. Oh, I'm looking at the delay. Never mind. I'll stop looking at my screen.
That's right.
I was in a place where there were a lot of people going to. There were beings all around me who everyone had just died.
Hmm. Now, this
And
is during your NDE, right?
during the NDE,
Okay.
but the whole place, it was about the size of an arena. You know, like a stadium arena where
Yeah, like 50,000 people could be.
50,000, 80,000 or more people, and it was dark, but I could see sort of like blurry glasses kind of into the cells around me, but we were like caviar bubbles in caviar, but everyone around me had just died.
Hmm.
It was where all the souls that were right there. And I may have been in a section where people are that don't know they're dead yet.
Okay.
Because I was unconscious when I drowned, because the water had filled up over my face, filled up my lungs, and then I drowned, but I was already unconscious when I drowned.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to give it all too much
Yeah,
away.
I don't know. You're doing, yeah, that's cool. You got to email me afterwards tonight so we can get you scheduled. I run a daily show and I'm trying to fill this week. So can you do it this week?
I can probably do it this way. I say probably. I know you don't like that.
I mean,
I just got out of rehabilitation out of a hospital.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm on a home nursing program, and I have a nurse just left, and I'm in rehabilitation after an accident that happened during a surgery. So
right. Well, I have Thursday and Friday available. So I hope one of those days you'll be available that we can record this.
Okay.
Think about it and email me as soon as you can make a decision, and then we'll get you lined up.
Okay. We'll talk in the email then.
Yeah, it'll be great. So that'll be cool.
Right.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you made it and we were able to kind of, finally try to, connect here so we can kind of get this going. I think this is going to be a really good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be atypical.
Yeah.
People, yeah.
Well, obviously not every NDE is like anybody else's. I think basically NDEs are, custom made for each person. I'm almost to the, even though I've done 500, I don't feel like it's near enough to give everybody answers of this is what NDEs are. And I don't know if anybody will ever have all the answers, but I'm kind of starting to be on the way that who you see in your NDE is, it's going to be tailored for you, what's going to help comfort you, whether you see a family member or Jesus or Buddha or whoever, that maybe that's what's going on. But still, I mean, and there's always, interestingly enough, an outlier that somebody's going to come up with an NDE that disproves that theory. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's any theory almost you're going to have about NDE, there's going to be somebody that's had an NDE that then contradicts it. So
yeah, mine are different because the first out of body experience I had was in 1985. I was wide awake in a meeting with 6 other people in a room, 7 people. And boop, I was vibrated up and gone through the planets and everything. But in that one, that was more like a lot of people's NDE experience where they see the Lord and they talk to him and then back in your body. Yeah. And then the next one was kind of more mechanical, should I say. It was like, these are the beings that thought they had you. But there's a twist in it in my story too.
Cool. I look forward to having you on.
Yeah. But a lot of people say that I should have seen the Lord because I wasn't. I better get right.
Well, not everybody sees God.
That's right.
I mean, really, I don't know what the numbers are. And luckily out here, there's someone, PD Pete, that's working on doing research and compiling basically all the data from my NDEs. But that's a good one to what is the raw numbers of people who encounter God or the source or creator or whatever you want to call it. But it's not.
I would like to
it's
know how
not
many.
in every. It's not in every NDE. I can tell you that.
No, and in my case, I thought I had seen God already
Mm.
in a prior experience decades before. So,
And you may have, yeah.
so I still think that my NDE was not invalidated, but
Right. No, yeah. None of them are invalidated. A lot of people, I think, they end up just outside their body hanging around, and maybe someone will come visit them and then they'll go back, or they'll kind of go out of their body and maybe go into the black void, which may be like a staging area or a in-between realm area, and then come back. And then some people go further out. It just depends on how far you go out. And that may depend on how badly damaged your body is.
right.
Maybe.
Exactly.
You know, or how long you're dead for, right? Which, you being dead, you drown, that would give me the case that you might go out pretty far.
I was out, I measured the water across my bathroom floor in
Mhm.
my overflow shower tub, and it was about at least an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. All right. So now PD Pete's here in the chat, and he says that's number 18. I'm not sure what he means by that. Maybe that's 18 of them out of 500.
That's a number 18.
But he's not done them all yet either. I think he's up to about 150 or so, but out of 150, maybe 18 encountered God.
As a type of listed NDE, mine is a type 18.
Well, just, you know, like how many people have actually encountered God during an NDE and during my NDE podcast. And maybe he's saying 18 of them out of 150 encountered God. So if that's true, then you can see, I mean, it's, you know, it's a little over 10%. It's about 10%, because that would be 15 would be 10%. So
I consider what I saw to be tall whites.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, brother. Well, listen, I got to run to the next guest. Please contact me, and let's hopefully we will get you scheduled for Thursday or Friday.
All right.
All right, bud.
I'll work on this on my camera, my Zoom and stuff. I just got my things set up.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Phil. Thank you, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Jeff. You too. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for Phil. And who we have next is Leslie Kings. Speaking of channeling, I'm assuming we're going to get Leslie to channel some music for us.
Yes, this is true.
This is true. Wow, you're wearing a mask today. What's going on, Leslie?
I'm not sick, but I have a dentist care right now. Maybe it's 2 months.
Oh, okay.
You know, old man and you know, a lot of repair. But hand is working well, and I really was struggling for coming in, but I felt yes, but your pride maybe said no, it cannot be like this. So I am here.
Yeah, well, people are mostly, the most important thing is listening when we're with you, right?
Yes, basically this is the first. Thank you so much about Michael, and from you also give time for listen, interpretation, and
oh, you were here for that. Good.
Yeah, and really this is true. So I learned a lot of my life is really changed, and so it's very cool. I have not many experience, but we don't talk about. Once I also rejected and telepathic communication a long time in when some experience show for one contact me, but I have no any such experience, and I was no, I don't want this. And after they were very submissive, no more. So I have a lot of things. I myself, one more experience happened in Sweden, in Ljungby. When I've been there, I see something with my friend together in the sky, and we cannot interpret. And later on we thought, okay, it's just some
Maybe
Sputnik
you
or
had
something.
UFO.
And next day, all news shared UFO over Ljungby.
Wow,
So
you saw it.
it's beautiful, for it's go in this circulation in half, and after hoops gone, like a glass, and no more, like another dimension. And after a little bit you wait, and ecstasy come back, like come out from the dimension. So we just will look at, do you saw? It's nice go out, yeah. Okay, little bit wait, and come out. And once again round and go back to the other dimension. And we saw maybe in 5-10 minutes. So
It would be amazing if we could get an ET to channel the music through you, and you could sound something you play something that sounds like it's from space.
This is as I work with the healing vibration music against the COVID, if you remember. You don't remember such things. When I sent music to China, that was 2020 January, when really exploded the COVID. And maybe you remember, many, for suddenly the effect is after 1.5 months, dropped. This time I get in my heart to sending music over territories. And Bible principle have such, like David played the the harp, and distantly had the guy, King Saul, some with evil spirit, and delivered. So the music definitely making deliverance. And after my Chinese situation, when I really sent to 30 or 40 cities, the music over the cities, and I prayed for sending Michael angel. This is my faith, just more a little bit the Bible principle. And it happened, and same happened when began the South Korean COVID problem, sending once again. But the top was England.
Wow.
If some English people maybe listen this, they remember 2020 January. They have 60 cases per day. 60. And a lady called to me for, I know for you have this gift for you sending for territory, music, and have a big changes, and the affection is, just changing. Can you send to England? I said to lady, I'm sorry, but I'm not God, so I just sending when God give me my heart, or the source, or this great creator power, and I just submit some instrument. But please, can you ask? Okay, so I ask. Total quiet, no answer at all, until came just one sentence. What do you believe? And I said, okay, I'm sending. And I said to this lady okay, I will send music over England or Great Britain, but please, you send to me the city's name. So we worked together in 2 weeks, and the 60,000 go back to 5,000 in 2 weeks. So there was another miracle. Lastly, what is not belongs to the COVID story, maybe write a book about these funny things, about music healing or frequency healing. The last was at the Taliban, the Afghanistan situation, when the all equipment belongs to the Afghanistan government, what the US and NATO, include Hungary, NATO, given to the government, and God gave me my heart for send music there for be peaceful, war. And this has been a really big war, this between these guys. And I sent, and everybody wondering what's going on. it just left US, left NATO, include Hungary. And not only began take over the equipment, sold to China, and they get food, and every most of peacefully, if you can. So I believe what you shared, and I believe for a learning, as the dream says, maybe I have also a package, somewhere, finding out. But music is frequency, multi-frequency, and I learning, and I just working for maybe a new synthesizer. I play always to sound, but heart is okay for not the music deliver, but he is the one who is do this work. But music is definitely a channel. So thank you for a little time to sharing. This is happening. I not advertise about my ministry so much, but I'm very happy for many people will be healed and deliver such things, or they can sleep much better, and some people can get new thinking. It's really amazing for me also. So I know it's 10:37 here in Hong Kong for you, so must be very late.
That's 9:37 here. All right, are you going to play for us a little bit?
Yes, I think that's the Father Day, so it's a happy Father Day for you.
Thank you, and same to you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. So I take off my beautiful face. So I took it my mask for I can get some air.
All right.
And that's the angel's voice today, just shortly. Now, hello guys, coming in my heart.
Leslie. Great job. Great job. All right, Leslie. Well, I want to let everybody know that I'm about to finish up here anyways. So if you guys want to keep hanging out, the paranormal party doesn't have to stop. You can go to Leslie's channel at Leslie Kings, and he will keep playing and channeling music for you. There's 200 of you here, so all 200 of you and some change can go and still hang out and chat together. I wonder if you could do this on Discord. Did you join Discord, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay,
So,
you can always maybe even do it on Discord as well, too. That's another place.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but if you want to go to Leslie's channels, I'm sure he'll be there hanging out and ready to serve you guys.
Welcome. And you are, and your family, you and Mara, God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you and your family. All right, Leslie, take care, brother. We'll see you later.
Thank you. See you.
Mm-hmm. And we do that. Oh, he's gone. And a big round of applause for Leslie. All right, so as I said earlier, tomorrow, if you're into NDEs, it's a must-watch NDE in my opinion. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I don't know if powerful is the right word to say, but it's really insightful from someone who studies Hinduism and the Vedas. He'd already been studying all this stuff before he got hit on his motorcycle by an SUV. And so I think you will enjoy this one. That's tomorrow nights. And I don't even know where my next ones are. I know I've got some that I've already recorded that I've got to start getting. We'll start editing too as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Today, if you're in the other side of the planet, and tomorrow for you guys that are on this side. And have a great week. And we will see you back next Saturday. So God bless you guys. Have a great night. And we love you. Goodbye.